Excellent. Sorry, Lorna, you just got comfy there. I'm so sorry. Great. Well, if you're watching on the catch-up recording, a great big hello and welcome. Welcome to your practice. And in terms of props for today, just our usual bits and pieces, really. If you have a couple of bricks, that would be really great. Or anything, you know the score. Some cushions, bricks, maybe if you've got them, a block and a blanket would all be superb. Okay, so we're going to actually start. Let's start lying down actually this morning, and we'll get settled in that way. So as you come onto the back of the body, you might want to have a blanket to go underneath your head, yeah. And as you come to lie on the back of the body, please bend the knees and place the soles of the feet flat to the mat. And you're welcome to link your hands around behind your head. Just give the weight of your head into your hands. Maybe you've lifted your head from the mat, and as you do that, you might notice the whole chain of the back of the body just releasing down. When you're ready, you can just take the hands away, lowering the head down. And then placing your hands onto either the lower belly or maybe somewhere more around the rib cage. So you just see what works for you. You can wriggle your feet a little wider perhaps, and then let the knees just gently touch in the center. And then giving yourself this moment to really notice how the breath is moving in the body. So you might notice a gentle rise of the belly as you inhale, and a fall of the belly or the torso as you exhale. And just really gently, gently, just tracing the quality of each breath. And you're just working to your capacity, working to your edge. And as you exhale, I invite you just to have a little scan through your body and just notice where you might be able to soften, maybe around the jawbone, the neck, the shoulders, whatever works. And then from here, if you have space to take the arms out and on the floor at shoulder height, go ahead and do that. If you don't, then just find some kind of space for the arms. I'm going to just take mine sort of over my head, pretty chilled, and then we'll have the feet about mat width apart. And we'll just go through this windscreen wiper action with the legs. So just take a full in breath where you are, and on your exhale, slowly dropping the knees to the right. Inhaling to center. And as you exhale, the legs can go to the left. So moving at your pace. Seeing if you could allow the movement just to be perfectly timed with your breath. So next time you go to the right, we're going to stay here for a few breaths. You might like to pick up your right foot and just hook that outer right ankle just to the outside of the left knee. And you're allowing the weight of that leg just to, or that foot, I should say, to weigh down the left leg. Full inhale. And a full exhale. So when you're ready, undo that foot, come back to center. And then going over to the left, just in your own time. Inviting that breath to really flow deep into the lower belly. And the exhale, just giving into gravity a little bit. So take your time, let's come back to center. And then we can hug the knees in from here. So just feel free to have the knees quite wide, or you can have the legs more together to see how you feel. And then rocking around as much as you like. You might want to lift your head towards the knees. Okay, so when you're ready, you can find your happy journey up to sitting, okay, and we'll meet on the hands and knees. So for you, that might mean you're rocking up, or maybe you're rocking to the side. Great. Okay. So you might want to have your blanket underneath your knees. I think this morning we might start, I know we will start the salutations by lowering the knee down in a low lunge. So you might want to get yourself set up for that, okay, to see how you feel. You might be fine without, yeah? Okay, so from here, hands under shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale to dome the back, pressing the back of the heart towards the sky. Inhale, opening the chest. And exhale, we're doming. Keeping the jawbone nice and soft. Inhale. Exhale to round. Inhale to lift the chest. This time on the exhale, tucking the toes, coming into downward facing dog, and you can bend one knee and feel heavy through the other heel. Inhale, come back to the knees. Lifting the chest. And exhale, press it back, hips high. The knee bends, the leg lengthens. Twice more. Just connecting into the quality of your breath and the quality of your movement. Just give yourself a moment here as you just either be very still in downward dog or just take some little movements, perhaps sway around. And just allow yourself just to notice also, where is the mind? How is the mind? And we'll start to walk the feet towards the hands. So just take as many steps as you like, okay? Walking the feet forward. Toes pointing straight ahead. Inhale to lengthen your spine. And exhale, we'll fold in. Let's roll to stand. So bending the knees a little. Heavy tailbone rolling all the way up. And as you make your journey to stand, you might want to link the fingers. Flip the palms away and just take that lovely open line through the front body. Maybe a little lean to one side. And then to the other. And then take your time, we'll bring the hands down through prayer pose. Here we are in Tadasana. So connecting to that ebb and flow of your breath. Releasing the arms from here. And then with the next inhale, let's take the arms up. Stretching the body from pole to pole. Exhale to fall forward all the way down. So bend the knees as much as you like. Inhale, hands to shins and lengthen your spine to send the heart forward. Exhale, bend the knees, left foot stepping back. And we'll lower gently down to that left knee. Inhale, breathing the arms up, press into the front foot as you lift the heart. And exhale, hands to the earth, and let's press back either to the hands and knees, or you can go right back to downward facing dog. Find your inhale right here, and your exhale right here. Let's come to a high plank from here, so bringing the weight forward, shoulders over the hands. You can let your tailbone just gently move under, then press back a little through your heels, and then send your chest forward a little. There's another deep inhale right here. And then come on back to downward facing dog on the exhale. Smooth breath. Let's take the right foot up. Inhale here. Exhale, stepping it forward. Give it a little nudge if you like. And we'll put the back knee down. So let's take the arms up on the in-breath. And just pausing here as you exhale. Inhale can just gently lift the chest a little. Now turn to the right on the exhale. Arms floating to shoulder height as you turn to the right. We'll repeat that twice more. So inhale, come back to center. Exhale to your right. Great. Inhale back to center. And exhale to the right. Good. Inhale, come back to center. And then from here, hands to the earth, and let's find our way out, either downward dog or the hands and knees. Inhale this to a plank, high plank. Exhale, stay right there, press through the heels, heart lengthens forward. Inhale, and back to downward dog, exhale. Inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, stepping it through. Back knee goes down. Inhale, breathing the arms up. Exhale, you might find it works for you to sink the hips a little, but see how you feel. Inhale just where you are. So 3 times to the left, exhale. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhaling up. Great, exhale. Inhaling to center, lifting up. Good, exhale, hands to the mat. And we'll find our way out either to kneeling or to downward facing dog. Just find your inhale right here. Finding your exhale. Great, so next in breath can pick up the right foot again. Exhale, let's step it forward. Back knee down. Inhale, breathing the arms up. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, hands to the mat. Back foot stepping forward. Folding in over the legs, exhale. Inhale, press into the feet, come all the way up. And folding forward again, exhale. Inhale to lengthen your spine, send the heart forward. Exhale, bending the knees, right foot stepping back. Coming down to that right knee. Inhale, breathing on up. And exhale, hands to your mat, finding our way into downward facing dog. Smooth inhale right here. And a smooth exhale. So let's take the right foot up again, deep in breath. And on the exhale, stepping it forward, back knee goes down. So as we come up here, just give yourself a moment to find the stability in the legs and the lower body. Inhale, we'll take the arms forward. Now, if it works for you, Garudasana or eagle arms, left arm on top of right, and we'll wrap the arms, okay? If that's not so cool for your arms or shoulders, left arm goes to the right, into the crook of the right elbow, okay? All right, if you've got the arms wrapped, inhale to lift the elbows. And as you exhale, sending the forearms forward. Another breath, inhale. Exhaling completely. Let's separate the arms, cactus the arms, inhale. And then exhale from here, bring the hands down. Find our way back to downward facing dog. To the high plank, inhale. Exhale, press out through your heels, chest forward slightly. Inhale again where you are. And with the exhale, hips high, come on back, downward facing dog. Good. The left foot lifts, inhale. Exhale, taking it through. Back knee goes down. So find your foundations right here. Reaching the arms forward. When you're ready now, right arm on top of left, or send the right arm to the side into the crook of the elbow. Nice. Okay. So with the support of your legs and the lower body, inhale, raising elbows. Exhale, forearms forward. Stay with your breath. Just another one. Okay, let's separate the arms. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the earth. Come on out. Downward facing dog. Inhale to your high plank. Exhale, we stay. Inhale where you are. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Just a couple of breaths right here. Gently hugging the armpits towards the midline of the body. Inhale, picking up the left foot. Exhale, stepping it through. Back knee down. Inhale, breathing the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat, back foot stepping forward. And then folding in over the legs, exhaling. Inhale, press deep into the feet, come all the way up. Maybe a tiny back bend. You can even link the fingers if you like. And then from here, let's return to standing. Take the hands down to the midline. Here we are. Pausing right here. Listening to the ebb and the flow of your breath. Let's release the arms and let's take an in-breath to take the arms up again. Full in-breath. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend the knees. The left foot steps back. We're going for a high lunge now. But keep that back knee lifted. Inhale, press into the feet. Finding your supports. Arms up. Good. And exhale, hands to the mat. Coming into downward facing dog. So if you've got a blanket like me, it might be a good moment for you to remove that blanket. Inhale, come into the high plank. This time, either knees up or down, chaturanga, or knees chest chin. So get ready for our little cobra sequence that we do quite a lot. Yeah, so we'll place the hands just under the shoulders. Elbows can gently draw in. And now with the in-breath, gently lift the heart, inhale. The height is not important. Exhale, lower down, turn the head to the right. Let's keep going. Inhale. Turning the head to the left as you come down. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, let's come up and through, shoulders roll back and down. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale to the hands and knees. And then exhale, coming on back into downward facing dog. Smooth inhale here. And a smooth exhale. The next inhale can bring the, let's take the right foot up again, deep in breath. Exhale, stepping it forward. We'll return to this high lunge. So give yourself a moment to really find your foundations. Hands can come to your hips. As you exhale, you can put a little bend to that back knee, and then the tailbone can lengthen down. So this time we'll take the right arm up, bend the elbow, exhale. And you're welcome to use the left hand just to give that elbow a little bit of guidance, okay? Then the other arm is going to come to stand for a second, yeah? The other arm comes behind you. And then you might find you're catching your fingers, you might find you're not, okay? For me at this time of day, it doesn't really work, okay? Catching the fingers. However, the posture itself does work, okay? So I'm going to let my right hand hold the back of my neck just gently. Left hand sits between my shoulder blades. The in-breath can separate the elbows, maybe lift the chest slightly. Exhale, navel can move towards the spine. One more in-breath. And then from here, exhale, let's release the arms, come on forward, and returning to downward facing dog. Let's go straight to the second side. So inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, taking it through. So finding your high lunge right here. Stabilizing in the legs and the lower body. So now this time the left arm breathes up. Bending the elbow. Maybe a little bit to help. The in-breath can separate the elbows as you lift the heart. Out breath can help us stabilize. Great, just another breath. Inhale. Exhale, let's release. You can reach the arms up if you like. Inhale. And exhale. Hands to the mat. Let's come into downward facing dog. Smooth out breath. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. So this time we're coming to locust. We'll take the arms back so hands can rest on the mat. Find the support of your pelvis and your lower belly. Next, in-breath can lift head, chest, arms, and legs. Exhale, we stay, shoulder blades squeezing together on the back. Another deep in-breath. And then from here, exhale, let's release it. And prepare the arms now for a cobra. Just the one. Inhale, cobra. And with the exhale, come on back by the knees. And we can go back either child's pose if you like, yeah, or downward dog. Finding your breath. So next in-breath, can take that right foot up, full inhale. Exhale, stepping it forward. High lunge, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Back foot step forward. And folding in over the legs. Now, next in breath, you can have your feet either together or apart. Okay, it's up to you. So the next inhale, we'll bend the knees, come into Utkatasana. And then from here, turning to the right, you'll take that left arm, now either left elbow across the right knee, hands to prayer, or you might prefer to extend the left arm and then wrap. Either way, you're still getting a nice spiral to the torso. Inhale back to Utkatasana. And then a forward fold, exhale. Let's take one full inhale here. One full exhale right here. The second side, inhale, Utkatasana. Sinking into your heels as you lift up. And then turning to your left, exhale. I'm going to do the straight arm one. Inhale where you are. Exhale completely. Inhale back to Utkatasana. And exhale, folding forward. Now this time, if you like, either hands to the legs, or you might want to link the arms behind you and fold forward this way. The inner edges of your shoulder blades move together on the back of the body. Okay, inhale, Utkatasana. And then we're going to fall forward straight away, hands towards the mat. I find this really hard work. Good kid. Inhale, lengthen through the spine to look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, right foot stepping back. Ready for your high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the earth, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come to a high plank. And exhale, all the way to the belly. So once again, let's come back to that locust. Okay, so the backs of the hands can be touching the mat. And then from here, inhale, lift head, chest, arms and legs. Exhale, stay. Shoulder blades can move towards each other on the back of the body. One more inhale. And then exhale, let's release that. Let's make a little rest for the head. You can gently sway the hips around here. Give yourself what you need. Okay, so we're going to repeat that, all right? If you need to rest instead, please just take time and rest, yeah? If you want to repeat it with the arms extending, go ahead. Or the other option is to link the fingers here. So then when you lift up, it's like someone's gently guiding your hands behind you, okay? All right, so let's come on up. Anything between 3 to 5 breaths, okay? So I'll let you decide on that one. Exhale fully, find your support. Inhale. Steady, smooth breath. Shoulder blades gently squeezing together as you lift the heart. When you're ready, let's come on out on the exhale. And then just feel free to sway your hips around, okay, from side to side. You might even prefer to pick your feet up and hang out here. I like letting my feet touch and just be here for a moment. And you can even just take that little swaying from side to side with the legs, yeah, like the shins or windscreen wipers. And you're swaying them around. Okay. So placing the hands ready for a little cobra. Inhale to lift up. Then a child's pose on the exhale. Take your time. Let's take a few breaths here. You can let one hand just rest on top of the other, and the forehead resting on the back of the top hand. Now, our next phase, we can either go into it from kneeling or from downward dog. Okay, so I'll let you choose how you want to get into that. I think I might do a downward dog just so I can reach my props. Okay, so when you're ready, we'll take the right foot up on the in-breath. This time it goes wide. And then here, which is where you might want to bring a blanket or a block underneath that back knee. And we're just coming into this little lizard posture. So please, please just take your time. And I know you will, because I totally trust you guys. So here you might have the right toes turning out just a little. And just sway a little bit from side to side, just finding your way in. And then here you can also use your bricks or blocks, or even a bolster will be good, or cushions underneath the hands if you want to go there. You might prefer to bring forearms and elbows to the blocks, to the blocks, or to the mat. And just gently breathe. I'm going to try and relax my hands. I keep catching myself really tensing my hands in this shape. So just take your time. Now we'll take this little action that's a bit like cat-cow, but just with the torso. Okay. So from here, drop your pelvis a little bit. Press into your forearms, send your chest forward. That's an inhale. Exhale, press more into your foundations and dome your back. Tailbone moves under. Let's go twice more. So inhale. Exhaling. And then just once more at your own pace. Coming back to a neutral spine. And then from here, you're welcome to either stay on the forearms. I'm personally going to come up onto my hands again here. Right without the bricks. And then from here, taking that right arm, breathe the right arm forward. And then opening around. Now you can always wrap that arm around behind your back. Maybe put a little bit of a lean back into it. And then the option here, if you want to, is you can pick up your back leg, maybe catch the little toe out of that foot. And once you've got the foot, you can press the shin away. But either way, you're still creating that lovely open spiral to your torso. One more in breath. And then when you're ready, exhale, unwind, and then come on out. And as you find your way out, you just might want to just take some movement. Maybe just moving through the hips a little bit. You might even feel like doing that kind of up dog thing here, just dropping the pelvis and then curling back. So you're just being very responsive to whatever works for you and your body. So either going from kneeling or from downward facing dog. We'll get ready for the second side. So left foot can lift. Exhale is going wide. Back knee down, and just give yourself some time to lizard around a little bit. Great. Okay, so if you want to come onto bricks, go ahead. Nice. And, it can be really nice to lengthen the exhale just slightly. So let's go 3 times of that cat-cow action. Inhale to drop the hips, send the heart forward. Exhale to press down and dome. In. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale when you're ready. Let's find your way back up. So maybe to the palms of the hands. Find that right hand. And then with the inhale, left arm breathes forward. And exhale, opening around. So either you're reaching back maybe you're ramping, or maybe you're picking up that foot, pressing back through the shin, and you've got that open line to your chest. Stay with your breath. One more inhale. When you're exhaling, let's unwind it, and then finding your way out. Then once again, you might want to just add whatever you want to add in here. So maybe you're swaying around, maybe you're sinking the hips. Perhaps that's a child's pose. See how you feel. Okay, taking our time. No rush. Find our way back to downward facing dog. Smooth, smooth inhale, smooth exhale. And then from here, coming back to your plank. And then lower all the way down to the belly once again. Okay. All right, so from here, we'll come back into the locust. We'll do it one time. Then the option for Dhanurasana. But if you want to repeat locust again, of course, then do. So I'll let you decide what you want to do with the arms. Maybe you've got the backs of the hands on the mat and then you're just lifting up. Or perhaps you've got the hands interlaced, okay? So exhale completely where you are. And then with the in-breath, draw back through the hands, lifting up. And we breathe. Shoulder blades gently moving together on the back of the body. And then when you're ready, let's release it. Little sway around. The option for Dhanurasana here, so you can bend the knees. Or repeat your locust one more time, okay? Here we are. So if you're holding the ankles, press back through the shins. Shoulder blades can move together on the back of the body. And just anything between 3 to 5 breaths. When you're ready, let's release it. And take rest on the front body. And one thing I love doing is this half frog after doing this kind of work. Yeah, so I'm going to take my right leg, slide it out to the side. Hang out here. Maybe the eyes are closed. Okay, just changing sides when you're ready. So you can extend the leg long. Okay, when you're ready, you can release that leg. And then moving on back, just a little child's pose. We'll be finding our way onto the front body again, just in a second, okay? But give yourself a moment just here. Okay, so take your time. We'll find our way onto the front body when you're ready, and we'll get into broken wing. Yay! Or, or swooping swallow, as it's often, as I like to call it. So you might want to have something for your head, okay? So you could bring a blanket or a block under your head. You are no strangers to this posture. So you can reach, I'm going to go with my right arm, okay, but you might be on the other side and that's fine. I'm flipping the arm so the thumb points down and then the back of the hand comes to the mat, palm facing up, okay? And then pressing into the left hand, rolling yourself onto the side. And then of course find your shape for the legs. And then you've got options with the arms if you want to. And let's take a good 7 or 8 breaths here. Just noticing if the mind wanders, where it's wandered to. Very gently guide yourself back to the breath you're on. When you feel ready, you can find your way out. Resting on the front body. And then we can change sides, okay? Just giving yourself what you need. Perhaps it's slightly length and exhale. Okay, take your time. When you're ready, let's start to roll ourselves out. Finding our way onto the front body. Just connecting with the movement of your breath here. So perhaps noticing where you're feeling the breath expanding in the belly or the sides of the rib cage, or maybe towards the back of the rib cage. All right, let's come on back. Child's pose, nice and slowly. And we'll go through 3 rounds of Chakrabhakasana with the option on the exhale to either or you can sigh or just or not or nothing. Okay. There's a lovely big long exhale. That's the plan. Yeah. So when you're ready, let's go. Inhale. 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 Now either stay in child's pose for a few breaths, or you might prefer to inhale, hands and knees, exhale, the downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, you can step through to sitting or come to sitting. Great. And then we'll find our way onto the back of the body. So next section will be a little supine twist, a little bridge, and then shavasana. Okay, a bit of knee hugging, of course. So you might want to have a few bits and pieces nearby. I'm going to have my block, or maybe if I was doing this for myself in my own practice, I maybe have a bolster. And a little blanket under the head. So before we do anything else, let's hug the knees in. Inhale, press the knees away. You can either have the legs apart or together. And exhale and hug. Knees away on the in-breath. Gently hugging on the out-breath. Maybe this time lift the head towards the knees. And then return yourself back down again. And then from here, get your prop ready on the right side. You can shift if you're using it. You might be fine without, yeah. Shifting your hips a little bit to the left, and then over you go with your legs to the right. Give a moment to coax your shoulders around to any shape that works for you. And you might want to keep the arms stretched out to the side. You might prefer to let your right hand rest on top of your left knee. And then the left arm is just kind of hanging out to the side. Yeah, if you've got space to reach it out, then go ahead. Just another 4 breaths here. Inviting your inhale to really move deep into your lower belly. And perhaps on your exhale, just creating a little more release in the rest of the body. Left shoulder, maybe in the legs, heart space. And so when you're ready, inhale where you are, exhale, come on back to center. Just give yourself a moment to give the knees a hug in. And then let's change sides, okay? We're using this as a nice little, a bit of a wind down, even though I have to say this posture does hold quite a degree of intensity for me. I'm just trying to chill a little bit, lengthening my exhale. Maybe that sigh. Okay, when you're ready, Let's come on back to center. Perhaps giving the knees a little hug. And you may or may not want to have your blanket still under your head for bridge. I'm going to remove it myself. I just find if I leave it there and then I go into bridge, I seem to get a lot of the pressure in my head when it stays there. But you might be okay keeping it there. So from here, we'll just lift into a little bridge and we're going to use that brick underneath the pelvis. Just keep it on a lower edge. Yeah, say maybe you normally go on the high edge. Just take it on the medium edge, yeah. Or if you're normally on the medium edge, perhaps you're happy working on right there or on the low edge. Just allow the soft opening of the front body. Jawbone relaxed. If you'd like to, you can raise the legs so you're in this little supported shoulder stand. Be really nice just to get the feet up. And whilst you're there, you know, if you want to work on getting some lymph moving, you can flex the feet, point the toes. You can coordinate that movement with your breath. Okay, so no rush. You can return back down to bridge. Great. So if you're on the medium edge, you might want to lift up the hips and then flip yourself down to the lower edge. Then I know you've all probably got your own preferred way of coming out of this, but just by way of suggestion, you might want to lift the hips, push the brick forward, land your hips down, and then maybe I like crossing my shins or my ankles and just resting there in this little supine sukhasana. So before we start to find our way into Shavasana, maybe just another little hug of the legs. Yeah, just something to close up, put a little flexion in the spine. And then as we find our way into Shavasana, just for, let's take 3 to 4 breaths. Taking an inhale and humming out the exhale, the Brahmari. So you can gently inhale. Just feeling the back of the body softening and releasing down. And very, very slowly, we're breathing in peace and breathing out peace. And if you'd like to just invite some movement into the body, maybe taking a big stretch. You might want to take, as you stretch, you might want to take a little lean to the side. We've not done a huge amount of side body today, so you might just want to have a little stretch through the side body. And just gently hugging the knees in. And just take a roll over to whatever side works for you, or you might be happier rocking straight up to sitting. Great, just take the time. Great, we'll just pause right here. Inviting you to take one hand to the area of the chest, one hand to the lower belly. And just acknowledging that you are the holder and you are also the held. So sometimes when it feels that you might be the one who's holding it all up, remember that you are the holder and also the held. Your spiritual heart can hold your human heart. Bring the hands together. We'll take one to close the practice. Exhale fully. Inhale. And may all beings know peace and know love and be free from suffering. And may we all teach peace by example. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody so much for joining this morning. So great. I'll make sure you get the recording sent out. If you want to revisit this at any point, you're more than welcome. Just also a very quick note. I know you've got to dash off. Quick note. There's no class next week. Okay. My lovely chanting teacher is staying and she'll be sleeping in here. So I feel bad about kicking her out. She'll still have jet lag and everything. So I thought it might just be more sensible. And I don't want to try and attempt to teach for anywhere else inside my house because that'll probably be a disaster. So, and also there's no space. Anyway, so I won't see you next week. But I will back to normal 7th of July. Okay. Sorry about that. Lots of love. Bye. Okay, thanks, Joanna. Have a great week. Bye, Lorna.